fun begins.
How's it going?
Hello.
Well, greetings, young Jedi. Hello there.
What is up, everyone? Hybrid Toy Reviews here, wanting to talk about the awesome Maul Shadow Lord trailer that dropped yesterday, and maybe make some action figure predictions. So, I'm an action figure channel. We gotta talk about the figures. But the Shadow Lord trailer looks oh so super duper cool. We see Darth Maul beginning to put together some of the elements of what is surely going to become his criminal syndicate. He is on a planet called Janix. I've heard a couple of people talk about it being the Coruscant underworld. It shares some similar vibes. It's dark, but it has been confirmed in some articles, especially one on the official Star Wars site. It is a planet called Janix. They did not do themselves any favors by designing the cops to look very similar to Coruscant underworld cops, but that navy blue and yellow, coloring, it is what it is. But we see this is set during the Bad Batch era. We see TK troopers running around, and it is really cool looking. I highly recommend just checking out the trailer. I will do my best to remember to hyperlink it here. But as I was going through, I was just sitting here like, all right, I need that guy on the shelf, and I need that guy on the shelf, and I need that guy on the shelf. So I was having a good time, just as an action figure guy. I think there are some really cool things that we should look for here. I actually put together a list of 6, a hypothetical full entire wave that I don't think we're probably going to get, but I just want to run through my list. Being that the show is called Maul, I think we need a refresh of the Clone Wars Maul, a repack of the Clone Wars Maul. I really thought he was going to have a new lightsaber in this show, but they do show his saber staff, and they actually show the second half of that saber staff detached while he's serving tea at one point in the earlier portion of the episode, or the trailer, which is interesting. I've never known a saber staff other than like Ventress's to detach, so that's kind of cool. But, yeah, that was unexpected. I figured, when we see Maul get knocked out of the Mandalore City rafters in the Clone Wars finale, and you see that lightsaber go flying, that was it. That was gone. But we do see Rookcast. We'll talk about her in a little bit. So I'm guessing it was recovered and brought back to him, which is really cool. And then I think Maul should come with a cloak. There's a very iconic scene that was shown at the Star Wars Celebration trailer, and then photos leaked of that trailer, and, it's kind of in, like, the only blurry footage we've had for, like, a year now. I think Maul needs to just be reissued with his double-bladed Clone Wars lightsaber, and he needs to come with, like, a soft goods cloak. I think the cloak is going to be iconic in this show. Working on, we have a new character, Devin Izara. Now, that's how it's written. It's not pronounced in the trailer. I'm sure it'll have some weird French accent or whatever, when the show comes out. But she is the pink Twi'lek Jedi on the run that seems to be allying with Maul in this show, which is cool. I know everyone's like, she's going to become Darth Talon. Maybe they'll adapt parts of that storyline, possibly. I'm not counting on that. I don't care if legends remain legends, but I think it's going to be really cool. We see her with a blue lightsaber. I think we should get her figure. She's wearing like a cloak when she's using the lightsaber. I think it would just be really cool to get her in action figure form. And I do think probably Maul and her are probably like a lock. They have to be coming. Working down, we see some returning characters that are really cool. We see Rookcast for a little bit. It's been confirmed Vanessa Marshall of Star Wars Rebels fame is coming back to voice her for this show, as she did in the Clone Wars finale, which is super cool. She is one of those Mandalorian super commandos that people have been asking for since we saw them in the Clone Wars Season 7. Hasbro would be smart to make her now. I hope that they make her now. I hope that she has somewhat significant screen time. Vanessa Marshall's an amazing voice actress, and I just like seeing her in things. She's one that I've met at a convention, and she's very nice. And I actually recommend 1313 Podcast did an interview with her a couple years ago. I'll try to remember to bullet point that. Yeah, Rookcast would just be super cool to get some screen time with in this show. And then here's an opportunity to right a wrong. We see Marok. There are two Inquisitors hunting Maul. One of them is Marok, and the original Marok figure has accrued a pretty good value on the aftermarket. He's like 50, $60. And he's not correct. The figure, the sculpt is fine, but they made him like light gray with orange all over him. I think this would be a great time for Hasbro to actually like correct the deco and then slap him in a Maul Shadow Lord box. Like that'd be really cool. It's a figure I would gladly rebuy. I never got around to repainting the old one. It doesn't offend me to the degree that I needed to do it the second that I got it. It's just kind of been on the to-do pile, and so if Hasbro just fixes it, I'll buy it again. I don't care. But it would be really cool to see them correct Marok. And then, going down that similar vein, the 11th brother, which is the Inquisitor we see Ahsoka kill in her final episode of Tales of the Jedi, is also on the hunt. And he was voiced by Clancy Brown, so it'd be cool to see Clancy Brown doing another thing with Sam Witwer. He voiced Savage Opress and many other Star Wars characters at this point. But it would just be cool to see an 11th brother figure, finally. With Jedi Dooku from Tales of the Jedi coming, it's cool that Hasbro has opened their arms to the world of animation outside of full-blown shows, but 11th brother appearing in a series at this point beyond just a little series of shorts, I think that gives us more credibility to be acquiring this guy as a full-blown action figure. He has a really cool, like, beaked mask, and I think that would be fun to get. And then, if we wanted to complete a wave of 6, should have gotten it in the Bad Batch line at this point, but TK troopers are crawling all over this city. And I would like them to come out in Bad Batch packaging or Maul Shadow Lord packaging, or whatever kind of packaging that Hasbro needs to invent. TK Troopers are just incredibly overdue, and I will take like 6. So Hot Toys just dropped theirs the other day. Hopefully that means that Lucasfilm kind of told all the toy people, like, hey, consider this. So hopefully it is coming. That would be a good set of 6 figures: Maul, Devin, Rookcast, Marok, 11th Brother, and the TK Trooper. However, there are 2 other interesting characters we see throughout the trailer. I actually think they're going to be the recurring opposition. The character's name is Brander Lawson, and then there's a droid, 2 Boots, because apparently he wears boots, which is neat. And they are like law enforcement on this Janix planet. And I'm guessing Maul's going to be building his criminal empire, and they're going to be like, not on our planet, and sending the cops after him, and then that's going to draw attention from the Empire because Maul is a high priority target. So I'm thinking Brander Lawson and 2 Boots are going to be more important to the story maybe than Marok and 11th Brother would be, but I don't know that I anticipate them coming in action figure form. They're kind of like dude in clothes and droid in boots. I think those are characters that we probably aren't going to see in figure form early on, but if they have insane screen presence and they get great scenes and the audience demands it, Hasbro's gotten to be pretty good about listening to what we want. But anyway, so maybe hypothetically, there's 8 figures that we could ask for from this trailer, which is really cool. It's really nice sitting back, watching a trailer, getting a little bit of a crumb of context about what it's about, but ultimately there was nothing in it like spoilery. It left me really, really excited about this show, and it's got me wanting to go buy Star Wars toys. And considering that Star Wars is a series that's all about selling toys to kids, I think this trailer did a really good job of showing the material. So Maul Shadow Lord is dropping April 6th. I am incredibly excited for it, and I had to make this video immediately after getting home from work, where I watched the trailer 3 times throughout the day. Every now and then I had to take a break and just look at it, because it's really, really cool. I've been known to say I'm not over the top about the Clone Wars animation style. It's fine, it's just, there's so many people out there that are like, hey, I want to see this show. And I'm like, okay, that's a good pitch. And they're like, and in Clone Wars animation style. And I'm like, you're dumb. Like, they could do it in Teen Titans Go or Young Jedi Adventures style, or SpongeBob style. And as long as it's written well, that's kind of what matters. But, but I kind of like that this is Clone Wars style adjacent. I like that it has a unique flavor to it. There's a little bit of a rough jaggedness to it because it's from Maul's perspective, and I really, really like that a lot. So, everything said, man, I am just so excited. April 6th cannot come soon enough. It seems every week they're going to be dropping 2 episodes for 5 weeks. There's going to be 10 episodes total, and it's going to be just absolutely amazing. It's not been confirmed if it's a one-off, a micro-series, or if it's going to become a multi-season phenomena. I could see it being a one-hit wonder. If it's really good, of course, you're going to want more. And, honestly, Star Wars animation has generally been my preference over the years anyway. So I would just like to kind of see what comes of this. It's a really interesting era. I love the early days of the Empire. And I think there's a lot of stories to be told here. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. Thank you for listening to me yap about what toys I want to buy. I want to buy Star Wars toys from Maul Shadow Lord. May the Force be with each and every one of you. We'll see you next time. Peace.